CEOs of public companies, are you making a massive mistake which has cost millions of dollars, potentially billions of dollars? What am I talking about? It's I would say there's a very high probability that you are actually not good at math. And here is what I mean. If you look at Warren Buffett, what makes Warren Buffett an incredible investor? What makes certain people incredible playing blackjack, chess, poker? It's understanding statistics, understanding probabilities, and most importantly, understanding human biases, because we all have natural biases. You probably heard of some of these recency bias, things like that, right? Which basically screws with our minds. And again, investing is all about psychology. Now, here's where you are most likely making a mistake, because the average CEO makes this mistake. That's right. The average CEO makes this mistake, and that's what prevents them from becoming a 100x CEO, even a 10x CEO, or maintaining that level, right? So here's what I'm talking about. Let's say I told you that if you took a certain action, there would be, nearly 100% certainty that you would increase your valuation, your company's market cap by $100 million. Let's say your market cap right now is 25 million. Let's say you're a penny stock, or maybe you're a $500 million company. And I said you could increase your valuation, but potentially 500 million, you double your stock, you have $1 billion valuation, right? Either way, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, right? If I told you with 100% certainty, if you took this action, get that result, would you do it? I'm asking you a serious question. Would you do it? Most likely you're going to say yes, right? Now, here's where it gets interesting. What if I told you there was only a 50% probability? Would you still do it? Now, I guess you got to ask yourself, what is my cost of taking this action where I could increase my valuation by 100 million, right? If I spent X amount of dollars, there's a 50% chance I can increase my valuation by 100 million. Okay, what am I talking about? I am talking about stock promotion. That's right. Let's say you did an average promotional campaign using Wall Street Report, my company, and it costs you, let's just say 100 grand, right? Let's say it costs you 100 grand. And you knew with statistical probability, there's probably a 50-60% chance that your valuation would increase by over $100 million. Would you do it, and should you do it? Well, statistically speaking, the answer is absolutely yes. And here is why. Because again, even if you have a 50% chance and the upside is 100 million, that's an asymmetric bet. And again, all you got to do is make that bet 2-3 times and you will succeed. Now, let's make it a little bit more interesting. Did you know that we have actually 100% success rate? We have 100% success rate with CEOs that follow my 100x game plan. So if you follow the 100x game plan, it's a proven system. Every company that does it, they've seen their stock price increase triple digits or more. And again, I've created over $1 trillion in shareholder wealth over the last 25 years of my career. And just in the past couple of years, you guys may have seen, probably had 12 stocks. No, we had 12 stocks that increased by 10x to 50x, right? So it's pretty interesting, right? Now, most of those companies, they half-assed it. They half-assed these CEOs. Most of the clients we've had in the last couple of years half-assed it. We had a good market that definitely helps things out for sure. Those stocks that became 10 baggers in a normal market, they should have only been 5x type of gain. But because of the good market, they became 10 baggers. And again, once they stopped following the system, they went right back down. The ones who stayed with the system, they did really well. So let's look at the numbers a little bit deeper, right? Even if you have a 50% success rate, your job is to maximize shareholder value. So how do you maximize shareholder value, right? So there's really 4 ways of doing it, right? Number 1, you could do new product launches, right? Launch new products. What does that cost you? Depending on the business you're in, it could be millions of dollars. What is the success rate? I don't know. Let's say you're an exploration company. What does it cost you to drill? You're mining an exploration project. You guys know the numbers. We're talking about the millions of dollars. What's your success rate? It's a lot less than 50% to develop an economically viable project, right? You know that. What about a biotech? Millions of dollars. That's just get in the game. What's the success rate? I believe it's about 5%, 10% that about 5% actually become commercially successful drugs. You might maybe 10% get into late stage clinical trials. Here's what else you could do: M&A. What about M&A? Do you know what the statistics are with M&A? more than 50% of M&A transactions fail within a few years. That's right. They're write-offs, complete disasters. We can go into all the reasons for that, number of reasons for that. Listen, it's just like marriage, right? How much percentage of marriages last, right? Depends on what it is, but it's around 50% in the Western world, right? So again, M&A, 50% success rate. What does M&A cost you? You got to pay for the company. Just the due diligence fees might cost you 6 figures. I'm talking about legal account. That's for a tiny deal. It's going to cost you 6 figures. And you might end up with a disaster, right? Okay. How about my favorite? Probably your favorite, right? Which is hiring talent. We know what that's, right? When you hire people, you're dealing with people. What are your probabilities of success? You hire somebody on paper, they look amazing. You bring them in. 6 months later, you realize, where did this person come from? This is crazy. And for C-level executive, yeah, it's going to cost you $500,000 to go through a process, right? You got to pay them. You got to pay the recruiting company, time and waste. It's probably $500,000, right? If you're lucky. And then, of course, we got my favorite, which is stock promotion. Now, if you do stock promotion using Wall Street Reporter, our program is range. Let's just use the number $100,000. Some of them are a couple $100,000, some are a little less, but the odds of success are very high if you follow the system. And what's the system? I'll give you a real quick: consistent news flow, consistent engagement with the audience, meaning 3 press releases a month, 2 live streams a month. Companies that do that, and they take, if the CEOs are coachable, we have seen those are the ones that become the 10x. Now, all you got to do is just do that math. It's pretty straightforward. I just showed you a high probability way of increasing your stock price. Now, what you do now, you have the knowledge now, right? I gave you the facts, but very likely that you have certain biases, right? A lot of CEOs have biases when it comes to stock promotion. Maybe you don't like me personally, possibly. Not everybody likes it. Even when their stock goes up, like a lot of CEOs resent me when their stock goes up 10x, 20x. I don't know why, but that's just, human beings are funny people. Look, you got the numbers now. At this point, if you want to become a 100x CEO, want to get on the path to becoming potentially a 100x, again, if you don't reach for the stars, you're never going to get to the moon, right? You got to reach for the stars. And that's what our 100x CEO Academy is all about. That's what this is all about. If you want to be all you can be, maximize your full potential, become a legendary CEO, develop a legacy, not just be a flash in the pan like most of these public companies. Get in touch and you can become our next success story.